The laughing would stop without warning. That was the first sign, and they had been watching it for 6 weeks as a sign of nothing. Zara was 2 years and 3 months old. Loud, social, the kind of toddler who narrated everything she did in a running broadcast. She played hard, and she laughed harder, and her laughter was the particular full-body kind that starts in the chest and ends in a shriek. The kind that makes adults in adjacent rooms smile without knowing why. The Bulldog, whose name was Samson, had been in the house for 3 years. He was 45 pounds of opinion and stubbornness. He was not, in any conventional sense, a delicate dog. He was the kind of dog people photographed because they found his face funny. He did not find Zara's laughter funny. He found it important. The first time her parents noticed Samson's behavior, they thought it was hilarious. Zara was playing on the living room rug, laughing at a stacking toy. And Samson had walked over from his bed, positioned himself beside her, and stared at her face. Not at the toy, at her face. Every time she laughed, he pressed his nose slightly toward her. Her father, Derek, filmed it on his phone. He sent it to his mother with the caption, "Lol, Samson thinks she's broken." Over the next 2 weeks, Samson's pattern became more specific. He was not present for all of Zara's play. He showed up. Specifically, he would cross the room at those moments with a pace that wasn't urgent, and he would position himself close and watch her face with the same focused attention every time. Derek mentioned it to his wife, Simone. She said, "He probably just likes the sound. He's a weird dog." This was true. He was a weird dog. And so the weirdness got added to the general category of Samson's weirdness and not looked at separately. Zara's Paws happened on a Thursday. She was laughing at the dog, laughing at Samson specifically, who had sat on the corner of her playmat, which he did not fit on, and was looking at her with his characteristic expression of profound bewilderment. She was laughing the high-pitched, full-body laugh, and then she stopped. In the middle, her face went neutral. Her eyes stayed open, looking slightly to the left of where they had been. The gaze of a person who has begun focusing on something that isn't in the room. It lasted 4 seconds. Then she laughed again. Simone was there. She stood in the kitchen doorway and watched it happen and felt something land in her stomach that was not yet fear but was in that direction. What was that? Samson had pressed his nose to Zara's face the moment the pause happened. He stayed there through the 4 seconds. When she started laughing again, he pulled back. Simone called the pediatrician. The pediatrician referred them to a pediatric neurologist within the week. Dr. Elena Kowalski, pediatric neurology, Children's Hospital, conducted a standard EEAG evaluation. She also, as part of the assessment, asked the parents to describe the onset of the episodes in detail. Simone described the pause, the mid-laugh cessation, the 4-second vacant gaze, the immediate return. Dr. Kowalski asked, "And the dog?" Simone looked at her. "How did you know about the dog?" She said, "Because that's the most common way these get caught in young children. A dog responding to a behavioral pattern a parent hasn't recognized yet is abnormal." The EEG confirmed what Dr. Kowalski had suspected from the history. Zara had childhood absence epilepsy, a seizure type characterized by brief lapses in consciousness, typically lasting 4 to 10 seconds. usually triggered or occurring during moments of high physiological arousal, laughing, running, excitement. The absences were often so brief and so complete in their resolution that parents normalized them. They thought the child had lost their train of thought, distracted themselves, got tired. They did not, typically, notice that the family dog had been interrupting his afternoon to position himself beside the child every time it happened. Has your dog ever moved specifically toward your child at a moment you didn't understand, and you later realized the timing was not coincidental? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. Dr. Kowalski told them that childhood absence epilepsy is highly manageable with medication and typically resolves by adolescence. Zara was started on a treatment protocol. Her episodes are now monitored and controlled. She told them one more thing at the end of that first appointment. Samson's response to the absences, moving toward Zara during them, pressing close, maintaining contact through the episode, is consistent with documented behavior in untrained seizure alert dogs. He was not trained. No one taught him this. He identified a physiological event, and he responded to it repeatedly and consistently for 6 weeks before anyone else registered what he was doing. Another 6 weeks of normalized absences, Dr. Kowalski said, and they may have begun compounding. The management window shrinks. We are here because you came in early. She paused. You came in because the dog didn't stop. Samson was on his bed when they got home. Zara ran to him immediately. He put his head on his paws and let her climb on him and stayed very still, the way he always did when she was in contact with him. Not the stillness of tolerance, but the stillness of attention. He had never been taught to pay attention to her. He had decided every guardian deserves to be recognized. Subscribe so you never miss the next one. Coming up, a Great Pyrenees who wouldn't stop following a toddler around the yard. The family thought he was being clingy. The ground beneath the yard told a different story.